pushed out of heaven for the most part, having to play super passive, but even despite the low HP, Yampi's able to pick up one.
Yeah. A bold peek. Link stunned on the site. Now, all the utility's going to be taken away, but without him actually peeking, just sitting at the back, him and Scream are holding down the line, something that Link has been excellent at, but when he's got Scream alongside him, they look almost invincible. It's left on to Shalabi. I almost feel bad for him. He's done so much damage, headshotting multiple players, and if you look at the HP of Liquid, well, there's barely 100 HP between them if you exclude Link from the picture. Unfortunately, they don't get any kills. So for Liquid, it does end up as a flawless round.
Flawless as can be. Which is interesting considering how it started. I was certain Yampi was dead. Even got a nade chucked towards him, but they get away with it. And I think... It's one of Breach's voice lines when he kills someone. Freak. That's so toxic. And I love the voice lines in this game. They always get me. It's Jet's one when she hunts down the last player. But there you are, you little shit. That gets me every time.
Turret going to be expended. Again, fighting for orb control. Not the most surprising thing in bonus rounds, but, well, for Liquid at least, the orbs are the other team. Everyone earned just from the single kills they get. And, of course, wanting to make sure they don't lose a single player. The fact that Link has actually stuck to this crosshair, like, there was a part of me that thought that maybe it was a little bit of banter. Do you know what I do genuinely wonder? Do you think there's some sort of way that you can display a different crosshair to the one you're using? Because that would just be the ultimate flex. Like, you just run around, like, showing a crosshair that you don't use. And just, like, in reality, you're using the most normal crosshair in existence.
I don't think that's possible. For one simple reason, I know somebody would have a crosshair that just covered the entire screen. Like, left the top
You're not allowed
corners.
to see what I can do.
Yeah, only the corners of the screen are visible for like 5 pixels, and the rest is the crosshair. But let's
just
hope
leave
that's
the
never
kill feed
applied.
open.
Oh, he got a kill. We didn't see it, but I saw him shoot. It's a good question. Would you still see the gun model? You would, wouldn't you? Yeah, it wouldn't draw over that. That would be really weird. But hey, it's 2-0, and Team Liquid face off against a full buy. This is where Vitality get the opportunity to really deal some damage and get themselves on the board. Look at what they're up against, Tom. 4 Spectres and a Sheriff. This should be, on paper, a pretty easy round for them, but oh my! Sulcus has made it difficult in the blink of an eye. 2 players are gone from Vitality. Spike is dropped on top ramp, and there are weapons there potentially to be retrieved. Vitality have just made a big slip-up.
Smoke dropped onto the head of Sender, and any sort of play through it would have massive amount of risks. Looking to try and reclaim the spike, but there's a cam watching it anyway, so information's already going to be there. Sender is caught as he tries to make the push, and now the remaining 2 players, they're kind of screwed. They need Liquid to make some sort of mistake. Now, sure, they're still going to have some advantages when it comes to at least the range positioning, but now the rotation's even coming back from Yumpy as well, and he has a rifle.
Player now down below, rushing into these players, and the Spectres are just so good at these group waterfall tactics, just spilling all over your opponents and sweeping them away. That is horrendous. we said on Bind multiple times that on the second half, Vitality had pretty much the best start physically possible. They've just had the worst start physically possible here. They've given free upgrades, 4 free upgrades to Team Liquid. They now have Vandals and Phantoms at 0 cost. They've lost their entire economy. So, yeah, but I mean, they've done nothing, right? The pistol was flawless. The previous one was pretty much like... This is pretty much as bad as it gets. And Vitality have got a mixed bag of weaponry here, a Marshal and 4 Sheriffs to try and deal some damage. Winning the round is not likely, but if they can have a similar effect to what they did on Bind with pretty much an identical buy, where of course they ended up killing 4 of the players from Team Liquid, they'll be very, very happy.
Interestingly, Cryptix is actually delaying when he's placing down his utility, which it definitely seems to have its risks about it, but well, at least can hold on to it till slightly later on in the round. For Vitality at the moment, again, they're almost just looking for players to make mistakes, and although Soulcast is just wide peeking this angle, I'm not doubting him missing at this stage. Like, he had a fantastic performance in the last map, even considering the loss. And I think it has to be put into context that if you looked at that game, it already seems close. But if anything, Liquid probably should have won it based on how many of the early rounds they actually lost and the fight back that they had.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I'm 100% with you there. And it was a big clutch by Vitality that even made it happen in the first place.
Okay,
this is just a shutdown. Now, obviously, they were just versus pistols, no armor. It's about as easy as it gets. But getting away with this one flawlessly, look at the credits. Watch when they pop up. It's going to be ridiculous. Team Liquid are stacked. They've got ultimates online. They've got more than enough credits to buy like 3 times in a row. And yeah, that's not something we see every day.
The funny thing as well is that one kill came in the bonus round, or the second round, I should say, for Liquid, where they were only SMGs versus pistols. So if anything, that's the one Liquid are probably most likely to take flawlessly. So the fact that the other rounds are the ones where they've got no kills is even more worrying. But that's a much better start. Solcast, who's been a terror thus far, is going to be caught trying to make a cheeky play down mid. Of course, with his flashes going through that smoke. It would have been a risk, but there might have been reward through it. Loki, though, is just going to hand that advantage straight back. I don't see the benefit of that play at all.
No, I think I'm with you there. The Vitality have managed to see some control over Heaven. Spike is behind, but they're watching it from the B push. They're holding for any aggression on A. This is going to be a very, very slow round for Vitality. Now, we've seen their defaults pay off massively, but the majority of the time that that's happened, it's been Team Liquid pushing into them, giving them the advantages. And as you can see, they are not looking to do that this time, playing much more passive on the sites. And with Solcast down, though, Tom, they've not only lost their flashes, they've not only lost the top fragger and one of the strongest players in the world right now, but also they've lost those Seekers. The ultimate game doesn't swing in their favor quite as much anymore. And this is going to be a much more difficult defense. Good time delay by Link. That aftershock completely halts the push. And with 20 seconds left, Vitality are going to have to just run at him and hope to take him down. Link is so strong in these positions. A 3K goes his way. Scream is taken down, though. I mean, this is a plan pretty much secured. They're going to have to just stare at him. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
There we go. Scream's been hitting the gym. It takes a little bit longer to take him out of the rounds now. You really do have to kick him while he's down. Still, this ends up as a 2v2 scenario. Jalabi gonna take this close range angle. Teammate trying to spot into Heaven. And Yumpy has been seen, but knowing that both players are in the site, he's actually gonna be able to get very close up. Both double peeking. Jalabi's gone. It's left all onto Brams to try and turn the tide. One player incredibly low. The clock burning down, but Yumpy hits the final headshot. It's going to be another round on the board for Liquid. Even with the fightbacks, it's still not enough for Vitality to get there first.
That's a kick in